You are about to watch one of our videos taking part in our Victor and Valentino Cinco de Mayo celebration. But stick around at the end of the video and find out where you can get your very own sticker of Valentino. For now, on with the show.
Welcome back to our Victor and Valentino Cinco de Mayo celebration, everybody.
Holy moly. The fact that I can actually watch this new show when it comes out on my Switch too, because of Hulu being on the... Crud! Every time! Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. It's just that before we were gonna record, we got some very unexpected news. By the time this video goes up, you'll probably already know that we have the... Oh my goodness. The Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball. I'm trying to remember that name because it's kind of like a tongue twister here.
Yeah, but today we're not focusing on the city of Elmore. We are going to be focusing on the mystical town of Monte Macabre. As this week, we're going into detective mode. What? It was the only hat I had that looked like a detective hat. We don't really have a costume budget. We're going to be uncovering the mystery of someone who was mentioned a few times in the show's run, and someone who didn't even make it into the final cut of the series. So join us as we uncover the mystery of Victor and Valentino's parents and their unseen third brother.
Actually, I actually do have some things about this character, and I was speaking of that, because I actually knew about this, doing some research, because I remember just researching some things about it, and then I heard about this character. I'm like, wait, what? So yeah, that is actually true. There was supposed to be a third brother named Vicente, and apparently in Diego Milano's interview with Animation Magazine, we didn't only learn about his plans of Lonely Haunts Club from last week, but we also learned a lot about the third sibling being Vicente, who may be the youngest. Apparently Diego told us that he was supposed to be 6 years old, and apparently he had a mustache for some reason.
I guess he thought it would be funny if Vicente was 6 years old and already going into puberty.
Yeah, but instead of Victor being the leader with all his wacky, wild, glute-saluting behavior, Vicente was supposed to be the one leading the pack, and that intrigues me, but we don't know too much as to why he didn't make the cut.
Yeah, well, Vicente never made it into the animated series or even became an established character or even got mentioned in the show, but he does exist in Diego's assignment when he was studying at the Maryland Institute College of Art in Baltimore way back in 2002. You'll learn more about how Victor and Valentino got its start when we release our interview with Diego by the end of the month.
Wow. But now, since we just mentioned Vicente, we can just get out of the way. Now we've actually gotten to the meat and potatoes of this video, because the trio became the duo, Vic and Val and all that stuff, but now this is the part where everybody has been scratching their heads. Who in the heck are Vic and Val's parents?
Now, we don't really know that much about their mothers on the show, but we did get some mentions of Victor and Valentino's father. He was mentioned in the episode Carmelita, okay, thank you, where we found out that Victor and Valentino have the same dad who got them a car that they can use for when they got older. And in the Season 3 episode, The Fog, when the boys asked their grandma, Chata, to call their father to pick him up when they almost left Monte Macabre because of Tez.
Yeah, I remember watching that episode when it first came out, and I'm just gonna make this very, very short. I'm sorry, guys, but the third season is not my favorite.
He was more so into having the show be more on the comedy side, which is basically how the show ended up becoming a comedy when it got greenlit.
Yeah, like it was more serialized as time went on, or I think that's the right word. But yeah, I'm not going to say too much because of, spoilers and all that jazz. And
so anyway, after we reached out to Diego Milano when we did our interview with him, he shared with us some important information that no one has ever heard about before.
And so
we got some further details about Victor and Valentino's dad along with their mothers.
And so that actually leads into something that's actually kind of funny about their mothers, which we'll get to in a minute. But the full name of their father is one Manny Calavera, or he goes by the name of Manny. And as you can see in this bio here, he had some sort of a, optimistic, funny personality, which is kind of like what I want to have, and is amazingly prankster just like Victor. And apparently he worked at a shipyard and had many great buddies back there.
And also this actually does share a little bit about his relationship status. So first he fell in love with a woman named Valentina, who is Valentino's mother, who he ended up marrying and having Val. But then Valentino fell in love with another person named Luis, who is Valentino's second father, and divorced Manny.
And then he moved into either Latin America or Los Angeles. We can't really...
Los Angeles. It's Los Angeles.
Okay, because in the notes we couldn't really confirm that. But there is another woman he met there named Victoria. And this led to Victor. So, hilariously, Victoria and Valentino were the mothers that had Victor and Valentino.
It is kind of funny, but also kind of cool at the same time, because I guess maybe they named their sons after their mothers.
But
so,
unfortunately, Manny wasn't really more so of a responsible kind of guy. He made up for it with lots of love and attention. And apparently he took Victor to the archery range so he could work on a physical skill test. So if you think about it, Victor sort of became like Disney Pixar's Brave, where it's just like just learning about archery. And then,
in the world of Cartoon Network, he was a lot like Omar from Craig of the Creek, because he's sort of a skilled archer in a way.
But there is something about Victor that we have seen him, and that is he would learn how to be more of a skater at a skate park with a skateboard. So he also told Victor how to, defend himself, because he was smarter with the kids around his old age. And
actually, he was smaller than most kids his age.
Yeah, so more so he wanted to try and have Victor be sort of like before we had him being the hilarious guy Victor was going to be more so of like a brave defender or something bad to the bone around that line.
Let's talk a little bit about Victor and Valentino's individual mothers. So Valentino's mom is a professor named Valentina, like we explained before, who met Manny in Berkeley. She is both a professor in ancient history and an amateur archaeologist. She had glasses and curly hair. She was very nerdy, very curious, very astute, and she liked Manny because he was very fun and carefree, but also very smart.
And then as for Victoria, she was more so of a hairdresser from the Los Angeles culture, and she was very fun, more so of an artist who created clothes and jackets. Let's see. She was also very hilarious, and she had the gift of gab and could make anybody laugh at that rate, which explains where Victor got his sense of humor. What?!
Wow, I guess Victor got his sense of humor from his mom. Because she did have a small stint in stand-up comedy, but unfortunately, we found out that she sadly passed away, which is why Victor ended up living with his dad.
Sorry, my mind just got stunned from that one thing there for a second. But apparently there were significant times where Manny, the father, had to try and get them together. Sort of a bond which was also going to be explored if the show got another season.
Yeah, we're looking at you, Zaslav.
We've talked about before how they met as little tiny babies, which was mind-blowing on its own. But Victor, in this case, Victor would be more so of a 2-year-old little toddler, and Valentina was 5, and Victor, being a little scamp, he bit his brother's shoe. Oh, gosh! And then...
I'll explain this. So, apparently Diego was going to try and explore more about how Victor and Valentino got along growing up. In another experimental scene that would have been put into the show, we would have seen Victor as a 2-year-old rambunctious toddler and Valentino as a 5-year-old. And one time, Victor bit his brother's shoe and tried to take it, but little Valentino, feeling very scared, tried to explain how shoes work, but little Victor, being his rambunctious self, just stuck a banana in one of his ears and waddled off like a tiny boss.
That is literally what I just said. So we literally just said the same thing twice for some reason. But
I got a little too excited.
Another concept that we have here would have been another sequence, maybe even a full episode, which would have been interesting to see, would be for Victor's birthday party just a year after his mother passed away. And then Victor being 6, Valentino being 9. Victor would be sad, of course, about his mother's death, so he didn't know how to handle emotions, which is pretty understandable to a degree. So Valentino would try to comfort him, and little Victor found solace in destroying the piano over and over to get more candy, which helped him with his grief. And honestly, who wouldn't want to beat the heck out of a piñata?
It actually makes you wonder. I wonder if Victor actually played that Viva Piñata game. You guys remember Viva Piñata?
Gosh, for the freaking Xbox 360. Good gosh. But yeah, long story short, we would have had a whole lot of more concepts about the mothers and then the father. And so we hope you guys enjoyed learning more about this. But we also want to know, what do you guys think about this whole concept that we had here of what was supposed to be?
Yeah, and what do you guys think about learning more about Vic and Val's intimate family? Let us know in the comments below what you think of these revealed concepts for Vic and Val's parents being introduced in the show, and also share your opinions about Victor and Valentino. We would love to hear them.
Yeah.
Oh, and to Diego Milano, who's been watching our videos, I tip my hat to you.
Hey!
Attention all Victor and Valentino fans. Have you ever wanted to own a sticker of one of your favorite characters? Well, now you can. Today, you can order your very own sticker of Valentino himself. He's 3.5 inches tall, has a holographic heart design, is waterproof, and customly designed by a hardcore Victor and Valentino fan. He's only $5, plus $4.25 shipping and handling. For more information, visit the Hoshi no Nico store on the Etsy website. Link in the video description below and over on the community tab on our YouTube channel. Bring home Valentino today.